This is the true story of a mountain and a courageous team of climbers, one of which was Don Bennett, a 52-year-old man with one leg. This experience changed his life forever. The Indians call the mountain Tahoma, the mountain that is God. Climbers throughout the world affectionately call it the mountain. Everyone else knows Washington State's 14,410-foot volcanic mountain, the second highest in North America, as Mount Rainier. Famed climber Lou Whitaker will never forget this mountain. While training for Mount Everest, Lou and his team of 10 experienced climbers battled Mount Rainier for 10 days, only to be turned back by severe weather conditions. The mountain claimed the lives of 12 climbers that same year when a falling ice wall resulted in the worst climbing accident in the mountain's history. Regardless of the weather, successful and unsuccessful climbers regard Mount Rainier as the most grueling physical and mental test of their lives. A team of 5 experienced climbers, led by John Skirving, undertook the challenge of getting Bennett to the summit in July of 1982. The previous year, their team was turned back by high winds, swirling snow, and zero visibility just 400 feet from the summit. This is the story of how Don Bennett met the challenge of being the first amputee in the world to reach Mount Rainier on one leg using crutches.
Up every morning, the break of day, his face was wrinkled and his hair was gray. You never know how long a man is staying. Donald made his daily round through the meadow and over in the high ground, past where the neighborhood kids were playing. 4 long miles and more to go. He knew he could make it if he just went slow. Sometimes it's hard to keep believing, but this time he was bound to fly, and he practiced hard as the days went by. You could hear his strong and steady breathing, and the words I know he said, I will climb that holy mountain in the hours of the day. Let it drain my sturdy body as it may. I have worked long and hard to weave this magic from my dreams, and I will not run from it till I'm laughing from the summit.
As an avid Northwest climber, I felt the exhilaration of reaching Mount Rainier summit in 1970, and I vowed I would do it again. That dream seemed to vanish 2 years later when I lost a leg in a boating accident. I took up the challenge of climbing the mountain again in 1981 and began my training, which included 5 miles of hopping with crutches each day. By July of the next year, I was ready mentally and physically to become the first amputee to scale Mount Rainier. Climbing a mountain is very slow and can be dangerous. It takes a lot of mental discipline to continue. It would be much easier just to give up and say, I gave it my best. But getting to the summit takes more than your best. Your mind must be filled with positive thoughts at all times. My mission was not to conquer Mount Rainier, but to conquer myself and prove that I could go all the way to the summit.
I'm going to have to adjust my crutches now. Let the rope slack a little.
As I continued to visualize myself reaching the summit, it was hard to remember that only a few years ago I was in a hospital bed, wondering if I would ever walk or climb again. I felt so proud standing on the ridge and looking down on the clouds below.
Oh yeah.
The negative thoughts of the previous year's defeat had to be erased from my mind. High winds and zero visibility just 400 feet from the summit had forced us to end the climb after 4 days. My thoughts had to concentrate on this new climb for the summit and forget the temporary setback of our first climb. Like these magnificent mountains, our lives are filled with sharp peaks and valleys. All of us are tested in one way or another. The measure is how we meet these tests and climb our own mountains, wherever or whatever they may be. I have worked with many leaders during my 25-year business career. But on this climb, a new meaning of leadership was demonstrated to me by John Skirving. He got the best out of each team member and united the spark of energy which helped each climber give a 150% effort. In critical situations, John was always in the lead, probing for the crevasse with the team's safety uppermost in his mind. It was obvious he really cared about the well-being of the team, and John earned the trust and respect that comes with being a great leader.
Jump now. Go. Right. Go. Ready?
As I reached 12,000 feet, the air was thinner and my body felt heavier and everything slowed down. Each hop became so much harder to make. I had to start deep breathing exercises that were vital if I was to be successful.
Characterize this day.
What can I say? Great.
It's a long day, a lot of work.
13 hours. But I would bet that Don could go another hour if he had to. Did you get that? What was that, Don? What did he say in there?
Don't make any bets on it.
Well, it was a long day. 4,000 feet in elevation. 13 hours of time. But I think we're in good shape. Because where we should be.
Is tomorrow a critical day?
We are not going to the summit tomorrow.
Say again?
I don't think we're going to be on the summit tomorrow.
Why is that?
I think we're going to be camped somewhere up high, but I don't think we're going to be on the summit.
I wouldn't-
I just think it's too far from here to the summit to do in one day.
He came
We're
4,000
gone.
today. How far is it from here to the summit?
Really would like Rick to come and get his.
But he went from 7,800
water.
to 11,800. Now we're going from 11,800 to 14,400.
Kind of like
So what we've done so far is the easy part. The hard part's ahead. This is the easy part that we've already done. For Dawn, especially.
My arms were extremely painful, and my hands were starting to swell from holding onto the crutches and hopping 14 hours a day for 3 days. I said to myself, all you have to do is to concentrate on one hop at a time. I never thought about how far I had to go, but kept thinking about how far I had come. As I struggled up this last major ridge, I could remember my daughter Kathy's voice from our first climb, yelling over and over again, "Dad, I know you can make it." When we started out at 4 a.m. on the last morning, I remember John Skirving saying that he thought it would be impossible to reach the summit that day. But in my gut, I knew if we could just hold on and get over the next ledge, we could make the summit in 4 or 5 hours. This was a great experience to be on the mountain with a dedicated team who gave 150% to help me reach my dream. I will never forget that feeling. It will affect the rest of my life as I continue to grow and face new challenges. This was truly a team effort in pushing the limits.
He had to make it 'cause he failed last year. Up where the winter steals all seasons. Now most good men will never know the sound of a mountain in the freezing cold, and how hard it is to keep on climbing. He just had to listen from the mountaintop. Though his leg was missing, well, he still moved up. And everybody knew the man could make it. As he turned to his friends, I will climb that holy mountain.
You got it! You got it!
Take those glasses off. Let's see what you look like. I feel so good.
To me, it's like being on top of the world. I can't go any higher. Where do you go from there? It's like taking the last step. I thought, wouldn't it be nice that maybe 2-3 years from now that other amputees would share the same feeling that I was having at that time.
I will climb that holy mountain in the hours of the day. Let it drain my sturdy body as it may. I have worked long and hard to weave this magic from my dreams, and I will not run from it till I'm laughing from the summit. If my life should end that moment, let it be, Lord, let it be.